Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain and going on a bit of an investigative journey behind the glamorous, flashy facade of the modern casino. On the surface, it looks like this ultimate playground of pure chance, luck, and endless entertainment. But beneath all that glitz lies a meticulously crafted, practically invisible architecture designed with one singular goal in mind. We're going to break down exactly how that architecture is built, using math, psychology, and some seriously cutting-edge surveillance. You know the feeling, right? You step onto the casino floor and your senses are just immediately hit with pure chaos. Bells are ringing, lights are flashing, people are cheering. It feels completely unpredictable. But ask yourself, who's actually in control here? Because while the player is riding this roller coaster of sensory overload and random luck, the house is operating on cold, silent, and absolute certainty. The chaos is a total illusion. And to understand how the house maintains this iron grip, we really have to look at the very foundation of the casino.
All right, let's dive into Section 1, the mathematical certainty.
So long before any sneaky psychological tricks or cameras are deployed, the casino actually secures its victory right from the start through math. Take a look at this breakdown of expected losses for every $100 you wager. Up at the top, if you're playing Blackjack with a standard strategy, you're bleeding maybe 50 cents to $1.50. Not too bad, right? But look down at the penny slots. Despite that really innocent-sounding name, they drain $8 to $12 for every $100 you wager. Every single game bleeds your bankroll at a different, mathematically guaranteed rate. This brings us to what's widely known as the house advantage, or the house edge. And here's the thing, it's not a guess. It is a strict mathematical certainty built right into the rules of every single game on that floor. It measures exactly how much the casino expects to win as a percentage of your wager. And the absolute golden rule of the house edge is this. Because this advantage exists, the longer you play, the faster you play, or the more you wager, the more you are expected to lose. It's just an inescapable arithmetic reality.
The whole entire business model relies on a concept called the law of large numbers. This is a mathematical theorem stating that as random events occur a large number of times, the results naturally converge to the overall probability. So if a player walks in and wins big on their first 10 spins, that's just short-term variance. The casino doesn't panic at all. Because over thousands of players and millions of bets, the casino's positive rate of return is an absolute, unshakable certainty. Make no mistake, the casino isn't gambling. Only we are.
Which brings us to Section 2. The gambler's fallacy.
So if the math is rigged so perfectly and predictably against the player, why on earth do people keep playing? Well, it really comes down to human psychology. On one side, you have the casino relying on the cold, hard logic of the law of large numbers. On the other side, the player is trapped by something called the law of small numbers bias. Think about it. If a coin lands on heads 10 times in a row, our human brains literally scream that tails is due. But it isn't. The odds are exactly the same as the first flip. By unconsciously applying this deeply flawed logic, we somehow convince ourselves we can outsmart the math.
Moving right along to Section 3, designing the ultimate trance.
The house doesn't just hope you fall for this flawed logic, they actively engineer the physical environment to exploit it. I mean, have you ever noticed there are 0 clocks or windows on a casino floor? That's on purpose. They want to completely erase time, creating this zone of endless play. Then you've got the near misses. Slots are literally programmed to show you coming just short of a massive jackpot, which stimulates your brain's reward system almost exactly like a real win. Combine that with familiar TV show themes to make you comfortable, plus a relentless barrage of flashing lights, and you have an environment that is scientifically proven to promote riskier decision-making.
And then, get ready for this staggering statistic. 45%. Research actually shows that players put roughly 45% more money into slot machines located in artificially odorized areas. That's right, casinos are literally pumping specially formulated scented oils through the air vents. The smell of money, combined with those lights and sounds, manufactures this blissful trance that is incredibly difficult to walk away from.
And what about the money itself? Or actually, the total lack of it? Trading your cold, hard cash for colorful plastic chips or swiping a digital voucher is a sneaky psychological trick known as cashless abstraction. Basically, it's a very polite, frictionless way of making you forget you're spending your actual rent or grocery money. It totally dulls the pain of losing. Plus, games like craps or video poker let you physically throw the dice or hold the cards, right? It gives you this false sense of control. You feel like you're in the driver's seat, but the math is absolutely still steering the car.
Now for our final layer, Section 4, the eye in the sky.
Okay, so we've covered the math and the mind games. Now let's look at the ultimate oversight apparatus, making sure everything goes exactly according to plan.
When most of us think of casino surveillance, we just picture guards in a dark room hunting for card counters. But it is vastly more complex than that. Surveillance teams actually act as anti-money laundering units, watching out for criminals trying to layer dirty money by buying chips and cashing out without even playing. They enforce strict regulatory compliance by recording every single card dealt in ultra-high definition. And they even monitor for problem gambling, constantly looking for continuous play or signs of distress so compliance officers can step in.
There's a great quote from an industry insider with 15 years in gaming compliance that really hits the nail on the head here. They said, "Surveillance acts as the eyes and ears that validate what we report. We can't rely solely on transaction data. The visual confirmation provided by surveillance helps complete the compliance picture. You just can't rely on the financial data alone. You need that real-time visual confirmation to run a massive auditing machine like a modern casino."
And this technology has evolved at warp speed. Today, it operates in 3 highly advanced steps. First up, biometric tracking. Facial recognition instantly scans the crowded floor to identify self-excluded or barred individuals the second they walk in. Second is behavioral analytics. AI actively cross-references entry times and betting patterns across entirely different tables to flag players who might be secretly colluding. And third, predictive real-time alerts. Neural networks analyze massive mountains of historical data to preemptively catch fraudulent activity before it even has a chance to escalate.
So, wrapping up this explainer, we're left with a pretty profound question to chew on. As casinos continue to perfectly blend hard mathematics and behavioral psychology with artificial intelligence and real-time biometric surveillance, is the house's biggest advantage really sitting out there on the felt tables, or is it actually in the algorithms silently analyzing your every single move, predicting your behavior before you even place a bet? It definitely makes you reconsider exactly who or what you're playing against the next time you step onto the casino floor. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one.